James Bond has left active service. His peace is short-lived when Felix, an old friend from the CIA, turns up asking for help, leading Bond onto the trail of a mysterious villain armed with dangerous new technology. This movie is the fifth and the last final performance for Daniel Craig as the English spy. Unfortunately, the movie is a bloated mess with one of the worst Bond villains in decades. Add in surprisingly underwhelming action scenes and a misplaced focus on Bond's relationship with Dr. Madeleine Swan, and this movie is a major disappointment. Like every Bond film, there are new locations, action and gadgets, but all of the franchise core components feel like the filmmakers are merely checking off boxes. Unfortunately, all of those boxes that need to be checked seem to drag down this movie. The movie ultimately plays it too safe and too familiar from first frame to last. Even as its closing character arcs that started years ago, it feels like a film with too little at stake. Along with a weak script and underwhelming directing, the biggest problem is that the movie is fundamentally built around Bond's relationship with Madeleine, to the point of suggesting it is the single greatest love of his life after Vesper. This shouldn't be an issue, except that both actors have absolutely no chemistry together. It's not a simple lack of sparks, it is that the narrative presumes theirs is an epic love affair, one worth making sweeping sacrifices for, up to and including the end of the world. Unfortunately, none of that actually comes across in the finished film. It doesn't help that this supposedly grand love with Madeleine never ignites, partly due to a weak script and also the actress' muted performance. Not helping matters is the fact that Swan is an absolute bore of a character, even more here than she was in Spectre. There's a curious lack of excitement or energy to the proceedings, principally because James is contemplative about the life he doesn't have with Madeleine, which fits into an overall narrative obsessed with heritage and literal blood ties. It's symptomatic of a plot that moves storylines and characters around, retroactively working backwards from the overblown finale, solely with the intention to give Bond lots of feelings and then make the audience feel them too. It just doesn't succeed, and much of that lies with an uneven and undercooked script that cannot decide on pacing or tone and is too often tried. Rami Malek plays a character named Safin, who is trapped inside a rather conventional Bond villain with outdated trope like a hideous disfigurement, thick accent, and an island lair. Not only is the character barely present in the film, but he lacks motivation or intrigue. There are also too many conversations which are loaded with self-awareness. It keeps referencing previous classic franchise moments and characters, but it is as heavy-handed as the product placement. The deeper dramas do not hit hard enough, while some of the gags feel cheap. The set pieces like the usual car chases and gunfights in climactic races through exotic layers are nothing special either. The most memorable is probably a single-take brawl up a flight of stairs, but that's it. Overall, Daniel Craig deserves more than this. Casino Royale and Skyfall are still his best Bond movies. This movie is a huge disappointment.